Hello. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about identifying your passion, the area that really interests you. And I've titled this talk 12 Great Questions to Identify Your Passion. We produced a workbook years ago called The Fox and the Hedgehog. And the idea of that workbook was to help people identify that area where passion, talent and a career intersect. Based on the Good to Great book, the idea of the hedgehog and Good to Great. And that includes things like observation tools, feedback, psychometrics and so on. But I want to focus in this talk specifically on 12 great questions that we use as observation tools, i.e. self-observation or self-feedback. Because we tend not to reflect enough, we tend not to look at ourselves enough and think about these things. So these are questions you could do on your holiday, sitting by the pool. Summer's coming, be time to relax. Wonderful exercise to sit down with a pad, pen and paper and do them. So here we go. Number one, what am I doing when I like who I am? Wonderful question. I came across this years ago, Googling, looking for answers for myself actually, and I came across on some coaches' sites and I've been using it ever since. So what am I doing when I like who I am? Interesting question. Here's another one. Number two, where did the time go? So observe yourself over a week and record over a week when you're at work. What activity are you engaged in when time goes very quickly? Or what activities do you find you love doing during the day? A really good indication of the kind of things that you like to do. So make a list of these activities, record them, and at the end of the week sort of rank them and say which ones do I like to do most, which and so on, and get a sense of it. Here's another one. What do I love to do? So make a list of all the things you love to do in different parts of your life, things that have made you particularly happy. And don't slip into second gear things you like to do. Just focus on things you really love to do. There is a distinction. And for each item, identify the factors that make you love it. Like, why was the situation so good? Why did you feel so happy about it? Why do you love doing it? What is it about it? Is it a place? Is it people? Is it a time of day? Is it the kind of work? Is it the way you're interacting or not interacting with people? What is it? Like, what's going on that makes you really love it? And then, of course, when you've got them all listed out, rank them again. Actually, by the way, a good way to rank them is to do it in reverse order. When you're ranking stuff, say which one is least important to me. If I had to drop one, which would it be? And make that the last one, and then work your way up the list that way. It's easier than starting at the top and working down, I often find. And the next two or three are sort of interesting. What am I doing? Or what am I proud to have done? What am I proud to have done? What things make me feel really happy with myself? I'm proud that I did those things. And do the same exercise you did on what do I love to do, same kind of exercise, but just use the word proud instead. And again, when you've made the list of them, try and identify why were you proud? Why do you feel proud having done that? What is it about it that makes you feel proud? Another simple exercise, just do a list of 20 words that best describe you. What are the 20 words? So I could say, for example, enthusiastic, outgoing, energetic, and so on, positive. For me, I start your list and make a list. Then again, rank them 1 to 20. Again, typically going in reverse order, and then try and identify the top 5. Now, what are the top 5? And say, okay, those top 5, and just line them up with the others that you've done already. Another one that I like a lot, actually, I think this comes from Dan Sullivan, the strategic coach. The question is, what am I like at my very best? So 20 sentences that describe and build around the pattern. At my best, I am this, not that. So at my best, I am on my feet, engaged with people, not sitting at home doing whatever. So at my best, I'm this, not that. Really good question. And again, the same thing, rank them in order of importance, try to identify keywords and go from there. What are my best results? This one was definitely from Dan Sullivan, the strategic coach. What are my best results? List the very best results you've had in your life. Big long list. Let's say now, what helped me achieve it? Like, what were I doing? What is it that helped me, or what do I do automatically? What habits do I have, or whatever it is that helped me achieve those results? Was it that I was consistent, persistent, steadfast? Was it that I was creative? Was it that I was a good negotiator? What was it? What were the things that actually got you those best results? And you typically find there's a pattern there. Another one, number 8. Which activities do I undertake eagerly and which do I only endure? So look over your day and say, what are my favourite aspects of the work that I do? and my least favourite, what do I look forward to doing from day to day, and so on. If something had to be eliminated from my job, what would I miss most about the work that I do? And again, try and describe it and get a sense of it. Number 9, this is an interesting one. What environmental factors make the most difference to me? So is it time of day, place that I work? Where do I feel most vital? What is it about the settings that I enjoy most? Try and get clear about that. Like what kind of day, for example, is the most energy? I'm a morning person. Around 4 or 5 o'clock, my day is pretty much finished. I run out of steam and I want to sit down and read a book or want to go for a run or whatever. So what do you do? What type of day do you do? What gives you a rush of adrenaline? What makes you feel really excited, really enthusiastic? Have you ever felt exhilarated? What were you doing when you felt exhilarated? Or enthralled? What were you doing when you were enthralled by something? What was it enthralled you? Again, this one comes from Philip Humbert. And again, just make a list of them and can you see patterns in there. Come at the end now. Number 10. What does my youth tell me about my calling in life? I love this one because I remember as a kid, I spent my life, if I wasn't climbing trees and making bows and arrows, out and about adventure, I was reading. I was hiding under the bed with a lamp, reading books. And those are 2 things I love doing now. I'm all about the outdoors. I love adventure. I love fresh air. I love being out in nature. And I love reading. I mean, it's really sort of interesting. Here I am 50 years later and I've come full circle. So what's my youth telling me about my true calling in life? When your parents, the way I sort of describe is, when your parents couldn't find you, what did they assume you were doing? So it's a nice way to ask the question. What would I change if I could change anything? If there's anything in your life you could change now, what would it be and how would your life be different? Where would you turn to for happiness? If you could turn anywhere, like what would it be? What would you do? I think we often say if you won the lotto, but I don't like that. I mean, just ask yourself the question, if you could change anything, if you could wave one, just change one thing, what would it be that you change and why? And try and get into a pattern. And the last one is really, I think, my favourite. I get a lot of feedback from people that this is a really good one. Who do I admire? And you find a list of 5 people you admire. They can be alive or dead, doesn't really matter. Write down the 5 people and then write down the characteristics about them. What is it about them that you admire? And in that, when you do that, when you've done that, let's say, for example, you identify 3 or 4 or 5 things about each individual that you admire, and you have a list now of 25 things. Pick the top 5. Pick the top 5 things you admire and move them over to find it. That's it. Those are the things I admire about these 5 people, the top 5. And they're things that you want for yourself and that you want in your life and you want in your work. So, I mean, and I think I really like that question. And when you've done the exercise, just try and sum it all together. You now have your 12 questions answered. You have your lists of stuff and ask them, what am I engaged in when I lose track of time? What am I engaged in when I perform above my normal capabilities? What am I engaged in when my energy level is higher? What activities do I get excited about engaging in? What activities do I dream about engaging in? And what activities am I engaged when people notice I'm a superior performer, and so on and so forth. I mean, what activities, interesting one, what activities am I engaged in that make me feel really confident? So as you look at all the questions you have there, and the answers you have, look at each one of them and see if you see patterns there that answer these questions. And see if there's any connections, and if there are any connections, is there a common theme, a common pattern? Write it out and say, now, is this central on a particular topic, and what should I do about it? So I find this to be a really, really fun exercise and a powerful exercise. Everybody, I think, is searching for happiness, and we talk about people living lives of quiet desperation, doing things that they really don't want to be doing. Well, this exercise to help you identify what you do want to be doing, so that perhaps you can change tack a little bit, tweak your role, tweak your life, and by doing something that you really, really enjoy doing, as I've said many, many times, then it's easy to bring the 10,000 hours. And if it's something you enjoy doing, typically it'll be something you're good at. And if you bring the 10,000 hours, which is easy if you like doing it, then you become world class at it. So again, there you go, 12 questions to help you identify your passion. Enjoy.